the broadcast. Gentlemen, welcome to the Face-Off. We have Fosta. Fosta, welcome. I like your office. It almost is as nice as Comp's. You guys I think you guys use the same paint on the walls. Yeah, I think, oh, wow. It's the same color.
And
that's
meanwhile,
so eerie.
It looks like Comps is trying to do his best Meadowhawk impersonation that he can, dressing all snazzy. No background, though. Where's that Apex background? Is that going to be coming soon?
No. I mean, I didn't want to put that much effort in.
Okay. Well, this is good enough. I mean, it's right there. And Fosta, without Meadowhawk here on the face-off, how is your team going to find the morale necessary in order to win today?
I'm not sure. I guess we're just going to have to dig real deep here.
All right. I mean, it sounds like you're doing all right now. So, Fosta.
Question of the day.
Question of the day. What map would you like to see added to the WGLNA? Ooh, I know.
I'm not really sure. Maybe... I don't know. I do know.
Follow your heart.
That's a question.
follow your heart, Fosta, because Comps knows how. Comps, please, you've got the answer. What map to the WGLNA?
It's got to be Ensk. I mean, that was one of my favorite maps to play back at Tier 8, and I think it'd be pretty good and interesting at Tier 10.
All right, the cap placement would definitely have to be well thought out. I've been trying to imagine that one for a while, but Ensk is a map that I've always loved, so I'd love to see it back.
All right, now Comps.
I know what I want. By the way.
What is it, Fosta?
It'd probably be Sand River. I'd like to see that come back.
Nice.
A long time ago.
Scout players always, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, just go surfing. All you do all day is surfing.
Well, that was actually
drifting.
the first season of Tier 10. I was talking about this on Twitter during the break. The first season of Tier 10, we had Sand River in rotation, and it was interesting. It was slow, kind of played a lot like Muravanka, but it was still fun.
Absolutely. Now, Comps, your team has been on a complete tear. At this point, are you guys even setting your sights on matches today? Or are you guys starting to look forward towards playoffs, finals, or even the Global Grand at this point? Where's your team?
Well, I mean, since the very beginning, we've been having our sights on Global Grand Finals. This season and the regional finals are just like an obstacle in the way of that. So, I mean, we have to get through that before we get to Grand Finals. But as for, getting ready for this match, I mean, it's the same amount of work as we've put in since the beginning of the season. So it's nothing different for us. Same old
from Apex. You guys have got the formula down pat. Now, Fosta, questions from Rockstar now.
Yep. So you guys have been struggling, to say the least, recently. What are you guys going to do today to beat Apex?
I mean, we haven't really been playing very, very sharp, I'd say. The past few matches keep, dropping leads that we have. It's always frustrating. But, I'm not really sure how to beat Apex, in all honesty. I mean, I think maybe we should, take a strat from Eclipse's book, and maybe we have to, become Apex. Maybe that's a good idea,
How does...
and, get some sleeper agents in there, Maybe they'll come out sometime, Who knows?
Okay, see if maybe you can study your opponent, learn the way they think. I see what's
exactly
going on. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us on the face-off. We'll see if your hard work's going to pay off, Fosta, in this next match. All right, they're going off to play, and we are left here to speculate as to how this is going to go down. Did you hear what I heard in that?
Let's speculate even a little bit more. Let's put this one out there. Lenif is leaving 07.
Ooh.
We don't know to where, but it also leaves another thing that has to happen. 07 have to fill a slot on their team.
Ooh.
Now, who knows? A lot of people currently on Apex knows them well. Be a good person to play against them.
I wonder who.
There's some interesting names out there. I'm not even going to name them, but you guys get ready for Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. We've roster submissions, by the way, right now. Teams have 2 periods in the entire season where they can change rosters. They must submit for them well ahead of time. They must be then approved. Paperwork must be then filled out, and then those players are added to the rosters. So it's a bit of a process, is what I'm getting.
For legal reasons, mostly.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of paperwork involved. These guys are actually... Anyway, so point is, it takes a little while, and of course there's a little drama that pops up because of the way it always goes down, because there's people saying, I'm removing this player in not tomorrow's match day, but for next week. And so with the new Lenif news coming out and a few other players switching around, I mean, there's always some good fun. It shakes things up a little bit.
Yep. Well, we'll find out exactly how much that shakes things up on Tuesday, because right now we are ready for our first battle of the series.
Prokhorovka, one of the first maps in the game. Teams start at the regular spawn points as they do in standard battles. Bases are separated from each other by the railway, so the defending team has to choose whether to send their vehicles to the left side, playing them in the centre, or to the right of the railway, occupying the hill and a part of the village. The attacking team usually attacks the first base. However, the teams often go for face-to-face confrontations, 7-on-7, in the hilly terrain at the centre. That's why both teams frequently use vehicles with good gun depression angles and sturdy turrets.
And here we go, 07 and IS-7, 3 bat chats, a grill, an STRV, and an RU-251. Apex, an IS-7, 3 bat chats, a grill, an STRV, and an RU-251.
It's a mirror matchup! Yes! For the first time, and I've been waiting for this all season.
We really just need to clip. We just need to have an audio soundboard with just clips.
Mirror matchup.
That's what we need in the background. I'm not even going to try.
I've been waiting for that for so long, Rockstar. You have no idea. Do you know what this means to me?
Is that the first time we've seen the mirror matchup all season?
All season, dude. I have been waiting weeks for this. Thank you.
It is amusing how excited you are to see this, and right out of the gates, 07 heading towards the middle ridge as the tanks from Apex doing a fairly normal split.
07 doing kind of just everyone ballooning out and taking as much space as possible. Opening run.
And it is Germ stepping in for external today.
Okay. Led, if you can see him, still there in that Grill 15. He's going to perform for people tonight. Knows his job. All right, Fossa, opening scout run. Bit aggressive, but good, well-timed, well-placed.
And you have to remember, Fossa has the most spots of anyone in the league this season.
It's because he knows how to scout. He knows what he's about. And, well, he's going to play it right. That's a safe, not too, there's a very standard scout run that he does. He keeps it a nice short loop. He didn't go for what a lot of scout players...
Unpredictable, make sure you got delit before he comes up and pokes up in a different place.
There's actually something interesting to point out. I'll bring up the mini-map here for just a second to show you guys. So, opening scout runs are often just like very long and drawn out. What Fosta's looked like was more along the lines of a short little button hook. And those are what I prefer to see as opposed to the longer drawn out ones, because the area that
it's a
you're
lot harder
catch
to get a beat
fire.
on.
Exactly. You're going to be able to get shot for that for much longer than if you make a nice little button hook run like Fosta did.
Right. Well, at the end of the day, it's exposed a lot less to the gun. So you poke up in one spot where you know that you have vision on the one area where you want to spot, and then you get cover. When you make those big, long scout runs, you're up and exposed to a lot of the guns a lot more often.
Yep, and looking at that, reinforcing that Apex is our dominant team in the league. 07 is going to be trying to figure out how to make this attack work. And if they can, that will be phenomenal for them. Because 07, if you can throw Apex off, that's going to be news for all of us, right? If you can figure out what the answer is to Apex, no one else figured that answer out, right?
Yep. Let's paint a picture for everyone. Right now, if Apex get this win and Eclipse manage to drop points to M60s tonight, Apex are going to be 1 point short of doubling their lead on the season in points over Eclipse.
Wow. Because, yeah, if Apex...
If they win this, they will be on 32 points. If Eclipse don't pick up anything, they'll be on 17. They will have double the amount of points of the team in third place.
Yeah.
That is how dominant Apex have been so far this season.
I don't know if there's only been one other team in the history of the WGLNA that's ever had that good of a record. Even then, they weren't able to keep it as dominant.
And that would have been Fulcrum/Fnatic.
Yes. Yep, that would be exactly it. No other team has managed to get the kind of wins as our good old caster David Nagatron Williams did back in the day. His guys were dominant. And it's hard to compare it to Apex today because
they were dominant unless they were playing teams from APEC. And speaking of APEC, L Gaming.
Apex Strats?
Well, the side note here: L Gaming actually lost their undefeated run on the season last match day. They dropped to team efficiency. They had won everything so far this season, and they had won everything last season. They had not dropped a game anywhere except for the Challengers Rumble.
Oh, look at this. Canadian Impact leading the charge in an S-Tank, as right behind him, that's all the Batchats, Nits, Germ, Dodo, and God, Emperor Brett, and the Grill 15 to begin this engagement. And, oh, I see what's going on. It's hard to fire against Makos in his own S-Tank, so They've decided to just blitz their own S-Tank forward.
Wait till you can get along the side of them.
Yeah.
Wait till you can get up in nice point and blank. It's actually going to be Ledif in a grill instead of the S-Tank, letting Mako sit in there. And look at the damage, actually fairly even, but at this point, Apex getting the gun advantage, and that's really coming in because the extra DPM is helping out, and now multiple guns are dropping for 07.
Yeah, but look at the hit points. 07's still able to put damage on the board, and with Commodore, Ledif, Major Issues having taken almost no damage, that's really the only chance 07 still got, because aside from hit points, Apex should be able to win this. They've got too many tanks with way too many hit points. They've got every single gun on the battlefield still, and, well, that was just solid aggression. That was just it. That was good play from Apex.
And Impact, great shots onto Commodore there. Commodore down to a one-shot, and this is not looking good for 07, as all 7 guns are still alive for Apex.
All right, now for follow-up from this is, well, where is... Oh, there's the third tank. Major Issues was hard to find all the way in the back of the map. I think that might have something to do with it. I don't think 07 was ready for that attack. They didn't have nearly as many guns on target as their opponent did.
Well, it was a timing thing for Apex. They didn't even wait for the right intel from 07. I think they had that timed out. They understood when they wanted to make that push, and they just went for it. And they caught 07 with their pants down.
And, well, pants off, dance off time for Apex. They're going to be able to have fun finishing off these last few tanks from 07. And I think it's a matter of time right now. Just going to take a second. Apex is on defense, by the way.
And Lettuce picks up the kill onto Dodoma.
Dodo just says, as. And he's just going to go forward. Because, by the way, Apex is on defense. You know that, right? This is defense Apex. And, well, yeah. That's already starting off pretty decisive for Apex for battle number 1. Ledif is the last one alive. Grill 15. And he finds Ox Mathis, but God Emperor Brett's going to find him first.
What a send-off that would be for 07. All right, guys, we just beat Apex, but I'm bailing out right now.
Peace.
Can you imagine that?
The clutch play, like, that would be a really clutch play because he had 6 takes to kill.
Yeah, and the damage of that game, fairly consistent out of Brett and Canadian Impact, the normal top damage dealers in Dodoma and Ox Mathis, not quite able to get into that fight.
Not at all. Really just...
And a lot
Apex
of that comes down
better.
to this. And look at this. This is Canadian Impact out in front, keeping that heat shield towards the enemy.
Yeah, so notice this about the map in general. So this play in a bubble, 07 did well, Apex did slightly better. But they had more guns on the battlefield is the problem.
Well, not necessarily the battlefield in general, but the area that they are fighting.
The bubble that I was talking about.
Yep.
The bubble that is this little...
The low
west
ground
side.
on the one line.
Yes. Everyone else is elsewhere on the map, right? So they're just not able to bring the support. They might as well have been dead. They might as well not have been there because, I mean, they didn't get to put any damage out. So there you go. But now it's going to be time for sides to swap.
And looking at this, Canadian Impact picking up 3 kills along with that 3,200 damage. 88 fantasy points, not bad there. God Emperor Brett has been doing very consistent as of the last few days, putting up a lot of points in general. Doing solid damage. Looking at the second page, Wallhacks and RE251 getting 60 fantasy points there. Wally's been putting up pretty solid numbers, especially as primarily a Tier 8 player for Apex. Even on the last match day, he got more fantasy points than some other people playing Tier 10s.
Interesting. I mean, you get decent points for being a lower tier tank, too.
Plus artillery.
Yeah, plus artillery.
So, definitely able to do his part for the team there. And so often when you have so many players on a team like this, like Ox Mathis, Dodoma, Nits, External, and so forth, it's kind of easy to be overlooked sometimes. But Wallhacks, quietly, which is not necessarily a word I'd use to describe Wallhacks, is able to get the job done, make the right decisions, and make Apex do what they're doing right now. Because I think a lot of their success can be accredited to him. Meanwhile,
absolutely so. He's been calling the team. He's known for his high energy and Yankee accent.
Yep. New York accent's what I was going to go for.
Sorry, I'm from the South, so it was hard to. I had to think about it for a second.
07 coming out with an IS-7, 4 Batchets, an S-Tank, and an RU-251. Apex, an IS-7, 3 Batchets, 2 Grills, and an RU-251. Looking at this lineup from Apex, double Grills. What do you make about that while being the attacking team?
If explosion sounds were are explosion sounds an acceptable answer?
No.
Okay. In that case, lots and lots of tanks for 07 are going to die in very short amounts of time. Well, one tank at a time is going to die very quickly.
Yeah, well, double tap, if they roll average, 750 a pop, 1,500 can be put into any tank, and these Batchats only carry 1,800.
Bye-bye. Yep, they'll be gone quickly because, well, you just put one more shell aside from that into them, and it's over. So you can afford to spread damage and then allow your grills to kind of clean it up. And
Absolutely.
That's what you're going to be playing. You're going to be okay with not getting... Oh, wow, nice shots into wall hacks. Good counter scouting by Fosta. And solid.
Something else hit them besides the RU, though. That was a lot of
damage. That was Warbender down south. No, not Warbender, Makos. Sorry. Makos up top. We have a lot of tanks right now on 07 on the red line. And you can see this major issues, Ledif, Endipans, Warbender, Makos. That's 5 people.
Well, now that Wallhacks knows that there's a tank up at A0 taking shots at them, let's find out exactly what their next plan is.
Yeah, just I'll try to kill the Sterv if I can. Otherwise, I'm prioritizing bats for you guys.
What's your reload?
I'm going.
Okay, guys, go.
Remember, we need one bat to YOLO into here to kill anything there. And then the grills could stay high.
Remember, the IS-7 is here. That's got to be...
Alright, I guess I'll YOLO
clear
with
the
you.
bats,
Alright,
clear
yeah.
the bats, and then kill the
You want me YOLOing with you, right, Wally? On the
If
3
there's
line?
anybody in 3 line, we need somebody to kill it.
IS-7's right in front of me. IS-7's down low.
Down low on
Yeah,
the
we're
3?
about to play
I think so, right there.
Yeah, there he is.
Bats, watch out.
They're
Remember,
gonna have
they're
other
down
stuff on the one.
Sturf.
That guy's really low.
Sturf right in front of me.
One of you guys has to kill the
Okay,
7.
there's a
Remember,
bat
low?
in the back.
Do you have So the let's 7? go over. Oh, shit.
Alright, nice,
there.
nice.
There's
Right in front
Sturf
of
in
me.
the back.
Yeah, yeah.
Guys,
let me
we
keep it
cannot
hit.
stop.
Okay, the drills are almost
I
there.
took the hit. You just
Spot
shot.
'em.
Oh, there's gonna be bats here.
You guys need to, yeah.
Focus
keep
major,
going.
major.
It's supposed to be behind
He's tracked.
the 7.
Major.
Nice.
Sturf.
Oh,
Main dodo farmer.
kill them.
Grills,
Kill
and
him.
One
IS-7
shot.
kill Sturf.
You just shield kill.
Coming in with full clip.
I don't have a good shot on the other shit, so I gotta shoot the Sturf.
Yeah.
The
You
bat
have to
shoot
kill
the
the Sturf. You're the only one that can kill Sturf.
He's gonna kill me. He's one shot.
I'm tracked.
4
He's
seconds.
shooting me.
Can we kill the Sturf? Yeah.
Dogs? Someone has to kill the Sturf.
Kill the
Good.
bat.
Nice.
Kill the
Now
Yeah,
he
yeah,
Pretty
can
much is though. They wasted all this
Makos
time.
is -3. Makos is -3. Reloading.
I tracked him.
Orban's tracked.
Yeah, we can't let the RU farm our other guys.
Nice. I have 2 seconds to shoot him. One shot.
5 seconds.
I can go push
I
him
can't
out.
hit him. I can't hit him.
Go for
I
Foster.
can't hit him.
Dodo.
We gotta kill Fosta.
Dodo, kill Foster.
14
I can go
seconds.
kill this bat.
How much is the other bat at? He's
Full.
Full. Oh.
Yeah.
We didn't let the bat out, right? Yeah.
I don't think
We
so.
still technically are.
Okay, well,
I
the
just
RU's
got
not
lit.
here. He's left, so.
Oh, you could be in the bush.
Are you left? We're still overall
not
probably
have-
up HP. Might have to get the eyes.
Oh, bat in the middle.
Bat in front of you, right in front of you.
Can't do anything to him.
the
Oh
bullet
my god. I'm gonna die.
Tracked. The Apex trying to claw this one back in. Oxmathis has most of the HP. Nitz is a one-shot. They do find the kill onto Fosta, and they just leave Makos in a full health bat chat versus these 2 tanks from Apex.
Now, here's the question. Makos has time, but he's going to be moving in on 4
spotted.
shells. And moving in on 4 shells, the damage is there, but do you want to risk it? Why not wait and reload? Take a moment. Although
Well,
that
I
does
think
keep-
he's trying to go maybe for... Well, he's going to get boxed in now by the I-7. I think he was trying to just get the kill onto Nitz and then bail out, reload with a full clip, and come back for Ox. But now...
Bounce.
The bounce.
That's huge. That actually means Makos could do this.
He's going to look for a shot onto Nitz. Nitz trying to get behind the building, and now he's been left in a really awkward spot.
That's awkward. That's really awkward. He could have gotten Oxmathis probably. That would have been my first thought. Use Oxmathis as a shield and get the kill there, but
And
unfortunately...
he's got out. Nitz is going to pick up the kill right now, and that's going to be it. Apex managed to make this 2-0.
Well, they know what's up. They know how to play it. There you go. And another point on the board there. So,
Where did that go wrong for 07? Because after that initial push from Apex, they lost so much HP on that one-line push. Where did that all go wrong for 07? Where did they lose all that HP?
I think that was right after they lost all their autoloader momentum. And then the Grills started getting shots on target. Once Grills got shots on target, it was fine. And once Apex broke through that initial defensive line, once they kind of defeated the 1-2 line, then everything was okay. But the thing is, Apex went in completely blind. So you know how I've talked about paying a toll? In its own way, this had its own extended kind of cost. A tax, if you will, on every transaction. And yeah, they get their kills. They're able to take down whoever they need to. The S-Tank you could hear on the comms of Apex was quite a problem. But once that was dealt with, then everything started to come together for Apex, you know? That was when things started to work out. But until then, yes, you're going to take a lot of damage. But that's just the reality of it.
Absolutely, I agree. And once those autoloaders ran out, they were trying to get to back out, reload, and come back. But at that point, like you said, Apex's consistent fire tanks just put out so much damage, especially if you look at Dodo and Brett, the two Grill 15s, 2,300 damage apiece. But Nitz, the real superstar for that round for Apex, 75 fantasy points, 3,300 damage, 2 kills, 77% accuracy. Not bad stuff there. Ox also able to get off 3 kills with 54 fantasy points. Canadian Impact struggling a little bit, but it was really Germ and Wallhacks who made that opening push down the one line that ate all the shells, that got in there, that broke the defense, and ended up going down before they could really be effective.
Yeah, and while we wait for the countdown to start, let's take a look at a highlight from one of our non-broadcast matches. Currently, I believe we are watching Aquatic M60s and Eclipse, or Valence versus Top Tier. Valence versus Top Tier, we're bringing you the 2 versus 2 update, as it looks like opening Top Tier is going to be going down.
Well, and to note, remember, Muravanka is going to have one of the best defensive win rates in the league, and that's going to continue here as Top Tier do hold out this defense against Valence, and they are able to finish out the score 5-2 over Valence. So they ended up
2 wins on Murrow and a win on Mines.
There we go. So they were able to close that out. Top Tier have looked pretty good on Mines recently, like they've been doing their homework, just trading better than Valence were right here. And it's like I said, these were some points that Valence really needed to try to catch up to 07, because 07 right now are 2-0 down versus Apex, and this is one of those things where you need to do everything you can to help put yourself in a better position. With 07 losing some points right now, this is an opportunity that Valence really needed to seize, because this is a game that you could really figure that 07 should probably drop points for.
I see where you're going with that. Yeah, it's Valence finally has a real chance, a team a little bit closer to their level right now, performing that way, but let's get back onto the 07 versus Apex, because we're about to get into battle number 5.
Ruinberg, a mixed-type map. The defending team starts the battle on the green, and the attacking team starts at the centre square of the town. Bases are located quite far from each other. Both bases are better controlled from the village when playing a heavy setup. It's better to attack the first base through the top direction with the help of several well-armoured heavy tanks. For the attack on the second base, it's better to use a more mobile setup and either play through the centre or split forces. In general, the map is not easy to play on. Teams often use blind shots and risky shifting of the forces from one flank to another.
Excuse me there. I actually meant to say map number 2, battle number 3. That was my mistake.
Math is hard.
I got ahead of myself, okay?
07 coming in with 2 113s, 2 Mouses, a Batchat, and 2 Tier 9 Bats. Meanwhile, Apex, 3 113s, 2 50Bs, a Batchat, and an RU 251. Vasa going right towards the north along with the other Batchat AP. Gonna do a handbrake turn, set up looking towards Wallhacks while the mouse is closed. And they do find Wallhacks. They know he's pushing over there. They look for shots but don't actually fire because they're not reloaded.
Yep. That's one of the costs for bringing a French tank, is the fact that, well, you're not going to actually be able to fire very quickly on the open. And on some maps, if you're quite clever, you can actually use your first few shells to just arc them into random areas where players might be driving through. It used to be very common to just blind fire in the middle of Prokhorovka at the opener and hope. But not so much anymore. Not as popular.
Ruinberg, one of the maps that Apex are relatively successful on. They only have a 50% win rate on offense, though, which I say only. It is one of the better offensive win rates on the map. However, for Apex's standards, it's still a bit substandard.
What is 07 doing here?
They're sitting up towards the north cap. Dodo's peeking into the bush, getting some lights towards Makos.
Yeah, but I just saw blind fire. And I don't understand what's going on. Are they trying to lumberjack? That's what it is. They're trying to lumberjack. But they're not getting it. I think that's what it is. Okay, so what you could do is, fun fact, you can shoot trees down with HE. But I guess that's not happening.
Mouse is moving into cap right now, starting to take some damage from Ox Mathis. That 113 firing the heat shells. Like I've said before, the heat shells, they're best suited for German flat armor. While it's very thick, it's also flatly armored. The heat shells don't need to normalize like other shells, and they're able to go right through for the most part. They can try to angle as best they can, but normally they won't be successful for long periods of time, as both these mouses have already lost a significant amount of HP, both below 2,000 already, taking a lot of damage, shot after shot after shot, and now these Bat Jets are coming in here. And I don't necessarily like this play, because what these mouses have done is they've drawn all the attention to this north cap already. So the guns are going to be sitting here waiting for Fosta in major issues. They're taking a lot of damage. They try to dive in on wall hacks to take him down, but look at this. These two Bat Jets are getting just completely evaporated.
But look at it. All of those autoloaders you were just so afraid of, what are they doing? They're on reload. Dodoma's just now coming off of a clip, and that's going to have gotten for Brett Canadian Impact all on reload. So right now is the moment, the exact moment when 07 needs to pick up a few kills. If they could do that, they're actually going to be able to bring themselves back into the match. Although, unfortunately,
Dodoma came off reload and saved Ox Mathis there. It picked up kills onto both, and that was the door just slammed shut onto 07's face.
Oh, maybe so, maybe, but Lidif. Oh, you're probably right, actually. Okay. For a moment, I thought maybe Lidif would make it over, but with Anipans versus Germ, there's a 1v1 happening in the south, and that's going to leave Fosta, Warbender, and Commodore off in the north to fight against the 50Bs.
07 cracked open that door just a little bit. Apex just ran into the door full force, slammed it shut on their face. Didn't even let him think about it once. Dodoma came in there and said, nope, you're not taking Ox Mathis. You're not going to let him stop farming all of those glorious fantasy points. And at this point, it's just cleaned up for Apex.
Yep. And, well, as everyone pitches in and does their share, Antipads will go down. Next alive, we've got Warbender, Commodore, Fosta all hidden and waiting. And I'm liking the volley fire. Warbender should be going down shortly, and he will. In the meantime, Fosta is actually going to be racking up a few fantasy points, but probably not for much longer as Canadian Impact comes on in.
Do you want to know what I like about those mouses?
For the kill. What?
They have 3,000 HP. You want to know what that means?
What?
It's a lot of fantasy points when you kill them.
Yeah. All right. I see where your mind is every single battle.
Well, and with good reason, because Ox Mathis, 4,200 damage and 2 kills.
Oh, okay. That's nice, actually. That's really
not bad damage at all, let alone fantasy points.
And also on top of that, 1,960 blocked by armor.
Well, and he was playing that hole down the whole game. The mouses were trying to shoot it as hurt armor. And that shot onto those Coppolas, especially when the 113 is actually elevated over the mouses, they have to shoot up. Trying to hit that shot it's no
really
bueno.
hard. Yeah. So he gets amazing performance this battle.
Yep, and while I see what they were going for here, the problem is
it's what 07's banking on is the fact that the autoloaders will run out of they'll lose steam. They'll run out of momentum.
And the 113s in the middle ridge can close distance as well as these Bat Jets can maybe get in here. But in reality, it's just because a few missed shots onto those Bat Jets and the weird pathing they took let them miss a few shots. But that was a small window they had open. Very small, and it just didn't come off, especially when it's Apex.
Yeah, it feels like there's something missing from all of that, right? Like there's one little change to make that might cause that strategy to work out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like there's something there because it's obvious that it works in one way, but it's missing an element that it surely...
Look at all these points from Ox Mathis. I know you could say I'm addicted to these fantasy points, but 155 fantasy points?
Yes! I picked him on my team today.
And Brett doing 105 himself. I said that those mouses were good fantasy points, but oh my lord. Meanwhile, Fosta, top damage dealer of his team at 1,700 in the Batchat AP. Everyone else just getting shut down, including both of the mouses. Wallhacks able to do 1,000 despite playing that little corner. So overall, I like it from Apex. Very standard defense that they just executed well. We were talking about this after yesterday. It's not that Apex are doing anything spectacular, and that's not a knock on Apex. It's that they don't have to do anything spectacular. If there was a team that had to perform and be spectacular, it would be Apex. But the problem is not every team's going to make them go to that next level. And as long as they set that bar high and they run at that same level, they can consistently make that jump over that high bar.
Yeah.
They're going to perform like this, and they're going to shut down a lot of these teams.
One of the things that's hardest to do when you're winning a lot is to actually stay disciplined and actually keep doing what you're doing. Because a lot of the time, you're going to be encouraged to lose focus, to play around. People are going to want to just say, nah, we keep winning by so much. Why do we need to practice? You know? You need to do the practice.
You need to do the homework. You need to keep practicing.
You need to do the rehearsal. Whatever.
You have to change things up. You can't, if you keep doing the same thing. Eclipse showed us what happens when you do the same thing over and over again. Teams catch on. They set up plays to take advantage of it. And Apex almost lost their first match of the season because they, I don't want to say lazy, but they just kept doing what had already been done.
They didn't think about what their opponent was going to do.
And then you have to ask the question, did they really care?
You know, I think they do. Based on the reactions that I've heard from Apex, I think they kick themselves at the end of every match for all of the little things that happen. Like, one little mistake is probably the point of discussion, because even when you've been on those teams where everything is going amazingly well, be it a competition or be it Clan Wars,
or just anything, sports in real life.
Exactly.
Anything.
Like,
there's situations where you get where even though you're winning, you can always win better, and that's what separates a good team from a top team.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. You're not comparing yourself to your opponents. You're comparing yourselves to the standard that you set for yourselves, and you try to achieve that every day. Now, let's listen in with Apex. I want to hear how their attack is going to go, because they've brought the 2-map strat as well.
Yeah, how long does it take for the mice to get to the south corner?
I don't know, like 2 or 3 minutes.
I'm just gonna try to tuck in. I just don't want to be made by
go
something
first.
coming south. A tree just fell right here. Tree just fell right in here.
I would say
it's
okay, about a
You're
minute
supposed to be here
30
watching
at the
that
very
one.
least.
Bring the mice a
Are you
little
not?
closer.
No, it's here.
Yeah, it's fine, because he's got to see if anybody comes
Don't
up.
get
on
lit.
Yeah, tree just to see
Yeah.
if anyone comes up behind us, yeah.
Yeah, there is one
we are
tank that
waiting so long.
was there. So probably 113.
You could also have this bat come down here and blind fire this shit.
If I
Yeah, 'cause
leave,
then we
I'm
lose
giving
eyes
up
in
the
the middle.
mid-road eyes.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I want to say Commodore usually plays their north guy, but no, it'd be Warbander in the I-7, right?
It's most likely Warbander
Hey, and your
north,
camera
but he
looks
could also
hideous.
be in the middle. The
Face
I-7,
looks hideous.
the I-7 can only be here or here, right? So
Don't talk to me. I'm going over here.
wait, did you say a guy could have taken middle?
Yeah, definitely.
No, he can't. I would have lit him.
Oh,
But
Oh,
there is someone
Pretty
who's
sure
there.
he would go.
There was a
get
guy
there,
that was there
but
because he knocked a tree down.
We'd see it, pretty sure. Unless Dodo's tank is actually blind.
30 seconds will go.
So at 7:30.
so how exactly are we doing this? The 2 mice go, and then are all the bats going from the A-line?
No, the bad AP's going to get uncapped.
IEP is getting
okay.
a cap, and if then we try doing something with the bats.
And then this bat's just watching behind.
Then we fucking kill
Yeah.
everybody.
He'll prevent someone from flanking.
So 07 or Apex, excuse me, getting ready to make this push. They have their idea, they have the execution they want to go for, but now it's up to 07. This is being handed to them to see what they want to do, how they respond, and if they can save it. So let's go ahead and listen into 07 and see what they do to save this round.
One bat north.
Just go ahead. You
or
can just work
150B?
to track them with the 113.
Yeah, I'll move my 50B north, Makos.
Okay. I'm gonna
we
stay
should be ready for the bats to come out. Bats to come out
SCRV.
south, mid, or top.
SCRV.
Don't forget that their bats are all on lit.
Yeah.
If it's north, I'm facing it. Warbender, you've got vision F line, and south we should.
I mean, this
be
113 is pretty good set to farm, you know.
But
the bats can't
then be ready for them to be in here, Warbender, because they're gonna try and kill Andy probably.
I'm watching.
I'll be ready to come back, Makos, if they isolate him.
I should be good just to get a couple.
Cam,
shots.
if they corner on you, I'm gonna have cover fire, but
Makos, maybe turn.
this
your
is
whole
pretty.
back.
They're committing pretty hard in the north.
Yeah. I'm ready to
Cam,
run.
you can probably pull back in and tuck. Because we've got Andy ready, and if they corner on you, I'll have shells. I'm gonna back up for that
50B
expectation.
down 0 line, or is that what
Wanna
they
go
want?
0?
Not yet.
Yeah,
I don't want to
they
touch
might-
these
they
bats.
might
This isn't actually that
They
threatening,
can
I don't
just
believe.
slide an AP behind. Yeah, that's what they're.
There's a bat, yeah.
They're just sliding APs behind.
Okay, I'm moving. I'm moving north right now. We need to take city or something then.
Yeah.
This is a hard screen. Cam can like YOLO in, but they're gonna have shit here, which makes it
Can we
like,
just get all in the corner and just YOLO across?
Yeah, we're just gonna push into them, I would say, because of the fact that it's just.
I was spotted here for something. It's not the mouse. It's something else.
Well, I'll
let us
light it when
deploying and aiming.
Maybe the guy in the
I
middle.
really have like no shots. Yeah, I really don't have shots from here. I'm gonna have to
there's the guy.
We're gonna have to go across soon.
50 B's going across.
Yeah.
I got one reset, the small, but I got one on the mouse. The second mouse has been reset.
God.
This bat's gonna come up center.
There's another one. There's all the bats north.
Yep.
Need to reset on wall hex, essentially.
I'm going in.
Oh boy.
Can we get one reset?
Dodo's clipping. He's got maybe one shell.
Sorry, Kim. My bad.
Wally's got points.
Can we kill Germ?
It's over.
I'm looking at Germ, yeah, but.
How did the mouse go?
What's the bet?
I mean, the mouse. I can shoot him if he comes out, but I don't have shots for now.
They were just completely angled,
I'm
right?
bouncing the other mouse.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it. I think that's a successful cap for Apex. We'll have to see. Yes,
Yep,
that's going to be it. Apex puts another point on the board, putting it up to 4-0 against 07. You could hear 07 trying to deal with that.
And a little bit of confusion there, some tanks bumping into each other, stopping. I think if those 50Bs had carried the momentum through from their transition and they had pushed across into cap and kept up, they would have at least been harder to hit than stopping in the middle of the cap with no momentum where they got tracked and obliterated.
I don't think 07 really took that defense as seriously as I really expected them to. Usually, I would have expected to hear comms going on about, like, all right, is everyone ready? Are you in your positions? Because there is a way you deal with this cap fast, right? But it has to be very, very organized. And I didn't hear that happen. I think that 07 got ahead of themselves.
Well, right there.
They could have. Commodore was zoomed in, and he was trying to get shots by reverse angling himself against the mouse, and he'd been doing rather well, actually.
What needed to happen was the 50Bs needed to push across that middle building just to the left of those bat chats and let the consistent fire tanks stay outside and either have shots onto the mouses or onto those bat chats and keep them pinned.
And when you also are doing this, you have to have a focus fire happening. There has to be a focus. Notice how none of the 4 tanks there went down. And they could have. The way that they could have.
And well, I see what you're saying. There's something to look at here.
Yeah.
There's 2 mouses in front. If you're going to pick a target in a group to shoot at, it's not going to be the mouse. That is the mouse is the absolute last tank you want to pick. It's 3,000 HP. It has terrible DPM. You leave that for last. But they were in front of the bat jets, so it was on Apex making it difficult for 07 to focus fire more than 07 failing to focus fire.
And that's where the intricacy of dealing with that is. You send 1 player or 2, maybe autoloaders, to deal with the cappers, right? They put 1 shell into either or even ram into them. At the same time, someone is focusing on the most available target to the most available players on your team. So everyone deals with a mouse. Maybe it has to be, but guess what? That gun is off. If you have to be in that engagement, you have to kill something. If you can't kill the bat chats and that's not going to work, you have to go for the mouse. I don't care if it's 3,000 hit points. It better be gone. That's how you're going to deal with that cap fast. Otherwise, you're dead.
Yep. No,
it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, I'm sorry, it's tough, but you have to kill the mouse, and then you have to kill the other mouse, and then you have to kill the bat chats.
I'll say something about that in just a second because we don't have any more time because we're ready for our next battle.
All right.
Mines, a small summertime map with lots of hills, rocks and other cover. The teams start the battle in the usual locations, but the base locations are different. One is located in the bottom part of the village, and the other one is in the water. One of the key objectives is the center hill. That's why the teams will often select fast vehicles and tanks with strong turrets for cover.
Lineups coming in here at 407, an IS-7, a bat chat, TVP, another bat chat, another TVP, and another bat chat, and a T-49. Meanwhile, Apex, a 113, an IS-4, 3 bat chats, a Grill 15, and Wallhacks in the Lorraine, 155. T-49, an interesting choice on offense that we've seen a couple of times, but mostly out of Dare Rising. As a scout tank player, what do you make of the T-49? What's your general take on it?
It's derpy.
Well, that goes without saying.
It goes derp, tanks take damage, and then the rest of the time you go derp and you miss. and then you're sad.
This is Light Tank 101 with Randall.
I feel like light tanks should be explained in the simplest humanly possible terms, just because they're like tiny
and phrases like "go find the bedman."
Well, yeah, exactly. Because whenever I've tried to teach or I've seen new players come around, they always ask about these really complex like scouting routes, or you start getting into that stuff. And I realized if you start talking about really advanced, in-depth analysis of scouting, you're taking a few steps ahead of where you should be. Reasonably, most scouting at the end of the day comes down to spot the bad men, right? It's find the other guys, find where they can see, where you can see them and they can't see you, and then stay right there, because congratulations, you've just done your job. All you have to do is continue doing that job until you die, which is probably going to be halfway through the battle, right around the time of first engagement.
And while you were going on that little rant, to note there, Teleframe 155 connecting with Andy Pants, taking out his commander and also having a damaged gun. So he's definitely hurting a good bit, rotating out towards that one line. If there's a tank to put out in front of a push,
I
think he's it right now.
Yep. And now Mako's playing it a little.
Now you can make the argument that any gun in the fight's a good fight, or is a gun in the fight, and you should keep him alive. But at the same time, he's damaged goods.
It's a gun that might not actually do any good in the fight. It's actually a gun that might do poorly or even bad in the fight.
Plus, he has that long reload because the commander's dead, and all the crew members on a bat chat are loaders, technically.
I once got into a brawl in a bat chat where I had a damaged gun and my gunner was gone. Not my commander in this case, but I accidentally team killed someone just because the reticle was so big. I was trying and I thought everything was fine, but this tiny bit of the inside of the reticle, I fired and it just went over the top and somehow hit someone up on a hill in Karelia. It's like bat chat with a bad gun is not a fun bat chat. It's actually it's really, really painful.
At least you weren't in a 183 or something.
Oh god, that would be horrible.
And this is that bat chat push coming out. They're actually going to leave Andy Pants in the back while Ledif gets out in front.
07 doesn't know this is coming at all. Actually,
Apex doesn't know.
Sorry, Apex, you're right.
But they don't need to. They're already in position to deal with this. The grill watching the cross.
Well, Wally's not ready for it. He's looking off to the northeast. He could get spotted if he's not careful, right?
Now Ledif and Makos are spotted. Canadian Impact gets a shot into Makos. Gets a second shot, 1100 into Makos. Makos is going to do the climb to try to go get him, but this HP is not going to go in favor of Makos. He gets the first shot into Impact, but Impact's going to return fire and take him down.
Ledif is here, though, and he's going to be able to make him pay for that, so evening up the score on that regard a little bit. But then a shot from Wallhex does connect. Ledif taking just a few.
And look at Brett. Talk about injured crew members.
And the push from Apex. They're going to start going towards the middle. IS-4 Oxmath is stacking up against Nits. And then right behind him, Dodoma's moving in, and even Germ. So 2 bat chats, IS-4 and a 113. Looks like Brett might hold back, and then Wally's even going to provide RD support. So Apex says, take the hill. And in a moment, we're going to see the beginning of that engagement. RD fires. Camador takes damage. And the follow-up from Dodoma is going to mean that Apex is going to throw almost all their eggs in one basket, and that basket is on top of a hill.
A lot of damage going off towards both teams.
No kills yet, Rockstar. And Dodoma's going to be able to actually jump up to the hill.
Outside Impact, who died earlier.
Lidif from way downtown.
Dodoma is down an ammo rack now. And a one-shot on 65 HP. Brett is also hurt.
Dodoma has a Guardian Angel or something. I just saw 2 shells not connect that
well, I just watched Nits bounce off one off his engine compartment on the back of his tank, so...
That's hilarious.
Give me that RNG, please.
Yeah, I'll take that any day.
Meanwhile, Ox trying to get some shots from the hill in that IS-4. Andy Pants, who we already were talking about earlier, trying to get some more shots off.
And I think this one is in control for Apex. They certainly have the tempo, but with this loss of momentum right here that we're seeing.
Well, and to look at it, though, something you have to look at is look at how much module and crew member damage that Apex have sustained right now. An ammo rack down for Dodoma, who's on 65 HP. So not only does he have a bad ammo rack, but he's almost has nothing left. A bump or a sneeze would kill him as Ox takes down Camador. And then Godad Brett has a dead gunner and a dead loader. So that grill is a 1-shot almost, well, 2-shot depending on the tank that hits him. And they're both going to be ineffective, which essentially means that there's 4 guns left alive. And then another one of those is wall hacks in the artillery. So depending on how you want to look at it, maybe only 3 guns alive for Apex.
Yep. And right now, Apex doesn't know a thing about where 07 is, really. They don't have any spotting. So with God Emperor Brett just now going down, nice spotting right there from 07. Apex is going to have to do a little bit of work to get back into a stronger position, I think is the way I'll put it. Their southern part of the map is somewhat exposed. Not too much, but wall hacks if an 07 player decided to move along the south well enough. Foster would actually be able to probably move in on wall hacks, I think, and possibly get a kill there. Andy Pan spotted in the south. Already safe he is not. And I'm thinking wall hacks is going to just kind of blap him in just a second here. Shot out. Misses barely. And the follow-up from the 113s might not happen, won't need to happen. Andy Pans is going to still be alive, and the TVP from Major Issues is going to be just below Ox Mathis, where, well, Apex is just still doing what they do. What is it? Ox Mathis is going to be just spotting. That's where Wallhacks is going to bring in the fire. And he's zeroing right now on target, but that is crazy to watch. Doesn't get the connection there. And then Warbender in the back is the next target. The only tank spotted right now. Shot out. 176. But just in time for Letif to move in and take out Wallhacks himself. So now it's 3-3. 07 is down on hit points, but
you have Ox Mathis and Nits alive on a majority of their HP, where you have Warbender with a damaged gun on 5, no commander on Andy Pans with 80 HP, still alive despite taking all that damage pretty much early on. And Letif down in the south in the bat chat, the only hope left alive for Apex, or for 07, he would have to pull a miracle off here.
Hey,
give 07 at least one parting gift, maybe one extra round. This is his final moment with 07 right now.
Yep. And well, with this one,
gets a nice shot into Ox.
Not bad there. But I don't see an answer next.
He needs to get unspotted and then try to close around on the outside, maybe.
And moving right now is not going to work. He's spotted now. Nitz knows he moved backwards. He should have known. There.
Nice shot from Dodoma. He's going to get another one into him. Gets some tracks, spins him around. And that's going to be it. Dodoma takes down Letif.
And that's Apex showing just how dominant they are. 07 unable to compete.
And this is 07's 5th loss in a row.
They're on a really, really mean streak right now. It's not good for them. Letif is leaving. It's going to be tough for 07. We're going to have to catch up with them later on next week to see how they're dealing with that and how they're going to be able to bounce back.
And listen to this. The remaining matches for 07.
Yeah.
Quadic M60s.
All right.
Rival.
Okay.
Eclipse.
Yeah, so things are not bright in the future of 07.
The only silver line, or underlining, I guess you could say, that they have right now is Valence just lost. So they're still 4 points above 7th place, which means they're not in danger of losing their playoff spot. But playing like this, if they go into the playoffs, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, and if for some reason they were to drop the match against 07, or against Rival, or if they can't find any place to even compete against Eclipse or Aquatic, this is going to start looking like the end.
And we'll have to see. You know, he talked about maybe finding some spies that have fought against Apex to help them out, or are formerly from Apex, or friends thereof.
I think...
so we'll have to see what happens on Tuesday with the roster changes. Yeah. Maybe some momentum will come in there, some new blood. You know, they are losing Letif, who has obviously been their star player at this point in the season. There's no denying that. He's
but
the top scorer in fantasy.
We've seen it before where players, after you see that star player leave, other players are able to step up and do some work. Changes the dynamic of the entire team. Maybe maybe the play style of 07 shifts up. But we shall see. Letif in the post-battle does the most damage. Puts up some solid fantasy points. Nits in the 113 getting 86 points, that one. Not bad. And, well, that's going to do it. That's going to be... post-match. This
Ox, 420 fantasy points.
Yeah.
1,200 damage on the series. Not bad there. Dodoma at 300. Brett, 2,700. Letif, only 2,300. 230 fantasy points. Not bad.
Yeah, only 2,300 would be only the highest number of fantasy points anyone could ever get in a single day.
Well, we're actually going to be joined once again by Comps, who's looking rather daring today.
All right, Comps. Sir. I'll wait till you're up.
There you are. No more suit.
Wait, did you change?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to put on the Apex jersey.
Was it itchy?
No, it was just like a little too warm for my liking, so I got back into my Apex jersey.
Aren't you in Canada?
Yeah, but there's still heating in the house, so I mean, it's room temperature year round.
He doesn't live in an igloo, Randall.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm American. I assume sometimes. I'm sorry, Comps.
He doesn't ride polar bears to work.
Okay. Anyway, that was decisive, Comps. That was absolutely decisive. What do you have to say for your team in that match?
I mean, it was good. We couldn't ask for more than a 5-0. So, I mean, you know, in that regard, that was a good game.
All right. What about next week and the weeks coming after this? How do you guys think the Apex is going to be performing? It's yep. How do you think you guys?
Well, I mean, we should improve. I mean, External's gone, but we picked up Vetro from Eclipse, so he's going to come in and pick up Germ's slack.
Oh, so it's confirmed. Then External's completely gone. He's just too busy.
No, External's still on the roster. Drynitz is actually leaving us. He stepped down and gave his spot up to Vetro. So External will still be on the team. He's just not going to be around for the next couple matches because of his Air Force duties.
All right.
But
you don't think
we'll have
that's
Vetro. So
have you guys been practicing?
Well, I mean,
sorry. Excuse me. I'm getting ahead of myself, Comps. I'll take a step back here. How do you think Vetro coming in is going to be affecting things?
I mean, it shouldn't really affect things. It's just like, you know, it's status quo. I mean, External's good, Vetro's good, so it's just another good player filling in the slot. Vetro has practiced with us for the last, I guess, 3 days, so he's getting the hang of things. So, I mean, moving forward, it should be an easy transition for him.
So, what about Vetro stood out to you guys? I mean, obviously he's a great player, but there was I'm assuming you had options as far as getting another player. Why did you go with Vetro?
Yeah, I mean, we had 3 options, so we looked at 3 players, and the other 2 just ended up backing out. So Vetro was the last one standing, so we had to take him. So I guess that's it.
Not a bad pickup. Thank you so much for joining us for this post-match interview, Comps. See you next time.
All right, thanks.
He'll be on every